Football Fridays on CBS News Colorado and FanView is presented by Flick PT and Performance. State-of-the-art physical therapy services and sports recovery tools. Visit flickptandperformance.com or call 720-480-2866. Decision time for Valor Christian. They just took their first time out. Brought in the Hulk package. And, Coach, when you look at the Hulk package, that's that wing T offense that Coach Brett McGatlin used when he was at Chatfield.
Yeah, that little single wing, it's all about misdirection. They'll have a sniffer back. They'll have a single wing back. It looks like maybe now as he's sending the punt team in, they're all kinds of disorganized what they want to do right now. Here they come in it.
It's usually something you don't see.
This is an offense that, they ran in the 50s and 60s, and then Coach Don McGatlin, Brett's dad, they got too many guys in the backfield.
And now you also have offsides.
Nice false start, holy cow.
Chase Hanish, my goodness.
Now you got to line up and punt.
Now you got to move 5 yards back and punt. And
boy, that was just a disaster. I mean, you had your group in, then you had to run a guy out, ran a couple other guys out, and then you get a false start. So that was just a mess that time right there.
Well, Coach, usually one of the things that you look at is you try to slow everybody down, and, you just want the heartbeat to go down. You have young men who are playing. Right now it just looks like Valor Christian's going just a little bit too fast. Best thing for them is to say, hey, let's go slow this game down. And this is one thing that we talked about with Coach Brett McGatlin is he says, look, I don't get too high, I don't get too low as a coach, and that really helps out my team. And even right now, you look at special teams, you have guys running in and running out. You have the long snapper who's not in the game yet.
The long snapper forgot to show up. He's kind of an important part of that.
Blake Packerats punts it away, and it's off the face mask and scooped up at the 8-yard line. Make that at the 4-yard line. And taken down will be Brooklyn Bailey. We saw Bailey struggle the first time around with the punt return, and now he has that one goes off his helmet, and that sets up Mountain Vista at their own 4-yard line.
They need to fix that. They either got to tell him you got a fair catch, get under the ball, or find a new punt returner.
What would you do, Coach?
I'd find a new punt returner. Of course, they might not have any. I'm sure they have a couple guys. This is a big defensive series for Valor. Yeah. Valor's got to get a stop right here, flip the field, get it back into their possession, eliminate the explosive plays. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mountain Vista take a shot right here too.
Last time out, Mountain Vista scored a touchdown on 3 plays, went 65 yards. Majeski will take the snap in his end zone, hands it off to Blaze. Man, he has blazing speed. That young man can run. Eats up a lot of yards, picks up 10. This drive started at the 4. It will now be at the 14-yard line. Pick up a 10.
It shows you the maturity of Austin Majeski right there. Trying to hard count. If Valor jumps offside, you get a free 5. If you jump offside, you're half the distance to the goal, you lose 2 yards. So you're not out anything. So that shows his maturity as a quarterback, trying to get a free 5 yards if he could. Good job by Valor to stay disciplined and not move.
Marked the ball at the 13, so it was a gain of 9, sets up 2nd and 1. 4:15 to go in the first quarter. An exciting quarter for Mountain Vista. Third drive, Majeski fires, wants to go deep, has the home run ball, and it's caught. Fingertip catch, 35-30, 25-20. You won't catch him today. Touchdown, Mountain Vista. Sean Conway with his 8th touchdown reception of the year. And folks, what a first quarter by the Golden Eagles. They now lead 20-0.
Boy, you thought that that last drive was a quick drive. This one was what, 96 yards and 3 plays?
How about this, Coach? An 87-yard touchdown pass. Austin Majeski last week threw for only 148 yards. He has that in the first quarter.
Yeah. And he just thrown his 27th to 28th touchdown passes of the year as well. What a great catch, though. I mean, he did a great thing. He ran and reached out at the last minute to catch the ball instead of kids who run with their arms stuck out and slows them down. And it shows you why Conway's got 8 touchdown catches. He's their explosive go-to guy. He's averaging 19.5 yards per reception.
I mean, Coach, what do you do if you're Valor Christian?
I don't know. You got to kind of reset it at some point. I think Coach McGatlin needs to bring his whole team together on the sideline before this kickoff return and have a whole discussion about, hey, we got to, like you said, slow things down right here.
For his third point after tip. This one's blocked. And can it be returned? No,
Not
it cannot.
nice.
So this time it is blocked as Hunter Dale misses his second PAT of the year. Either way, Mountain Vista, that's the only thing that's gone wrong for them in the first quarter as they lead 20-0 with 3:59 remaining in quarter number 1. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado.
Wow.
Well, Coach, I mean, again, 20-0 is the score. This looks like a team that is fired up in Valor Christian, and we had a chance to talk to head coach Garrett Looney, and he felt very confident that his team was going to show up and perform well today, do it so well so far.
Yeah, he was worried a little bit about what happens if adversity hits him, and so far there's been no adversity for them. They're in complete control of the football game right now.
Spence will take this one across the 20-yard line, get it to the 22, a return of 16 yards, and Valor Christian will have their best opening drive of or their best field position of the day, as they will start at the 22-yard line. Got a couple of young kids who are right in front of our broadcast booth who are screaming their heads off. Hey, they got a great reason to, all right? Mountain Vista, how about this? 3 drives, 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah. It's you know, and the other thing that helps, I mean, you're playing in front of a great crowd. It's homecoming for you. You know, the kids feed off that energy.
Starting at the 21-yard line, and we'll have another
False
flag.
start.
My goodness, false start. Holy cow. You know, one of the things that you look sometimes is, as a coach, you want to press that reset button. You can't physically press the reset button, but in a drive like this, you can eat up a little bit of clock, get your guys together, get a couple of first downs, and get yourself on board. That's exactly what Valor Christian, I can imagine, want to do in this drive.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the things, Coach, we got to talk about in you know, one of our keys of the game is they want to try and keep Mountain Vista's offense off the field. But you got to get first downs in order to do that. And when Mountain Vista's offense been on the field, I think they've had a 2-play drive for a touchdown, a 4-play drive for a touchdown. You know, they're not on the field long.
Coach, they've run 11 plays today and have scored 20 points. And a short screen, not too much there for Valor Christian. Keep an eye, by the way, on number 0 for Mountain Vista. This is Carter Daniels. This is a guy who had an injury last year, wasn't able to play in this game, has returned. And speaking with Coach Garrett Looney, he says, look, he's a guy who's always around the football, a guy to keep an eye on. He made a stop right there.
Kid has worked tremendous there, coming off an ACL, MCL, reconstructive surgery on his knee, and to have just a great year.
And a deep pass for Valor Christian, and this one is going to be broken up. What a nice play defensively by Mountain Vista. How about Bryce Bailey?
Boy, good coverage. That was a good ball right there by Oak. I mean, take a shot, good ball, on the money, just great coverage right there. And now, you know, Valor's back there. Now we're 3rd and 15 again. And they got to get out of that 3rd and 15. I think if Oak would have waited another second, he had 2 guys on crossing routes. You know, Cash Spence was coming across wide open on the crossing route. Might have been better off just going ahead and taking the sure thing, get a first down.
You know what, sometimes it's just better defense.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Oak. He wants to go deep, throws a long pass to the sideline. And did Cash Spence catch that? Nope. Knocked down. On the play, Ja'Kai Mack knocked it away. And once again, Valor Christian will have to punt. This will be the 3rd time today they'll have to punt.
They're going to have to get something going offensively to keep their defense off the field, to eliminate explosive plays. I think Mountain Vista is trying to make a statement to the rest of the state that they're for real.
Pankarats will punt this away, almost blocked. And back there, number 8 won again. But this time he will return that and gets to midfield. A gain of 13. Nice job there by Brooklyn Bailey. See, Coach, he listened to you.
Yeah.
Get under that football, go and pick up some positive yardage, and Mountain Vista will start this drive at the 50.
Couldn't get a stop from the 4. Let's see if they can stop him from midfield, 49-yard line.
Today's game is brought to you by Flick Physical Therapy and Sports Performance, which is a longtime proud supporter of Valor Christian Athletics. They provide state-of-the-art physical therapy services and sports recovery tools to optimize your recovery and maximize your athletic potential. For a complete list of services they provide, visit flickptnperformance.com or call 720-480-2866 to schedule today. Fourth drive for Mountain Vista. Tried to do a screen over the middle, able to connect, but nice job on the tackle to get Jack Blaze to the ground.
Had a big play going. I think they got away with one. I think he was over the line of scrimmage when he caught the ball. Should have been an illegal man downfield, but they got away with it. And again, great tackle.
Actually, that would be Japri Jennings who caught the ball. Short gain, nice tackle by Valor Christian.
That's
to be
a
on
win.
The stop was, we have Jack Brown with the tackle.
That's a win for Valor to hold him to a 3-yard gain.
I love it how you have kids asking if it's a live broadcast. Nope, we're just recording this one.
Yeah, we're just pretending.
Second down and
no
8.
Flat coverage.
And there you go, right in the flat. First down and a little bit more. And laying down his shoulder and having something to talk about is Jack Blaze. I kind of like that from that young man.
Yeah.
A little fire from the young man.
I think if I'm Coach Looney, though, I might be talking to him going, we just got a first down, and you have to have something to say. Talk with your pads.
Gain of 11, first down, ball at the 36. Kids are still excited to find out that this is a live broadcast. Who knew? Empty set now. 2-by-3 set. Do you play zone if you're Valor Christian? They haven't got much pressure on
they're not even covering the number 2 guy out there.
Well, but the number 2 guy gets the ball on the drag route and throws his man to the ground.
Tell you what, I'm impressed with Mountain Vista's physicality. Like you said, they may not be bigger physically than Valor, but they are being physical for sure.
Call that a gain of 7. Second down and 3. You look at Majeski, and Austin Majeski, in order for him to have the most passing yards in Colorado football history, he needs 1,680. He might get that in the first half the way that he's playing right now.
Yeah, he might get it tonight for sure. But
20-0 is our score. Mountain Vista on their 4th drive of the day. Majeski to the left side, has a man, and just off the fingertips. Tried to go and reel that one in as Sean Conway couldn't get his second touchdown of the day. Now falls incomplete.
Conway's going for his 9th touchdown of the year right there. I like the call, 3rd and 3. Take a shot. Sprint out right, throw back left. That shows you Majeski's arm strength, and he can sprint out right and throw the ball clear back across the field in the end zone. Just underthrew it a little bit.
I mean, just the way that the ball gets out of his hand. It's just, there's a different spin to it. It is a really, really nice ball. And actually, this is the first time that Mountain Vista has had a 3rd down all game long. 3rd and 3 at the 29. Fake the handoff, throws to the outside. Easy pitch and catch, and making a move inside. And getting down at the 16-yard line will be Sean Conway. So Conway, they'll spot the ball at the 18. That's enough for a first down.
I know Valor's worried about the speed of the Mountain Vista receivers, but in 3rd and 3, giving them a lot of cushion right there. Just run a little 5-yard out route.
Well, defending on the play for Valor Christian, that's Dallas Dudley, and the junior caught a whole lot of air initially. Ball at the 17, coming down to the last play of the first quarter in a very exciting first quarter for Mountain Vista. Now they come out with the tricks. Conway on the reverse, has a block and has a man to help him out.
Oh, yep.
Gets one at the 20, and he'll be taken down. Do we have a flag on the play?
Got a block in the back.
We have a block on the back, so that will be coming back.
He might have got away with it until he threw his hands up in the air like, I didn't do anything. That's usually a key that you did something. Oh, holding.
So they call holding Japri Jennings. Let's go and see if we can find out where that holding penalty was. We can get another look at that one. And coach, where's the hold? Look
Right
at number
at it.
5.
Yep. Right out here, coming right there. He's just going to block him, and
That's a hold?
that's what they call it. I thought it was a block in the back when I saw it live, but they called a hold.
Well, you know what? I guess everything can't go perfect for Mountain Vista in a first quarter that has just been fantastic. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and the score 20-0 on their in-state rival in Valor Christian. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado.
This is CBS News Colorado's Football Friday via FanView. Time to cheer on your favorite Colorado prep team, sponsored by Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. Prompt, professional, and reliable. Visit brothersplumbing.com.
Well, there's nothing wrong with your screen. You are seeing the right score after 1 quarter of play. Mountain Vista leads Valor Christian 20-0. Justin Adams as well as Coach Ron Wadalevich. And Coach, it has been just a fantastic game so far by Mountain Vista. First drive, scored a touchdown on 6 plays. Second drive, scored a touchdown on 3 plays. And the third drive, scored a touchdown in 2 plays. They now have the ball for the 4th time. And, Coach, this is a very dangerous area right now for Valor Christian. You got to figure out a way how to be able just to settle things down and keep yourself in this ball game.
Yeah, they got to find a way to get a stop, or worst case scenario, maybe hold them to a field goal. You give up another touchdown here, your Coach McGatlin, you really got to rally your kids together and say, hey, let's not quit. Let's put something positive together. And offensively, that is a first down, then another first down, and try and do something. We've been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
The last play of the first quarter was a hold. And the hold on Japri Jennings. So sets up 2nd down and 20 from the 27. Mountain Vista wants to run the ball. Look at Blaze just get to the outside and continues to pick up positive yards. That's one thing that I see with Jack Blaze is he's just a slippery runner, really hard to tackle.
Yeah, he's got some quicks to him. He's got great change of direction, and he's got explosiveness through the hole. I think if you see right here, maybe if he would have went a little more vertical right there, and you see that seam, he might have had a chance to pop another 10 or 15. But
gain of 7, 3rd down and 13.
Uncharted territory for Mountain Vista tonight to be 3rd and 13.
Well, how about this, Coach? If you think about 4 down territory, Hunter Dale, who had his one of the PATs blocked today, he hasn't kicked a field goal. Get this, since October 13th of 2022. You were still coaching at Dakota Ridge.
Yeah, I was still coaching. Shows you how explosive your offense is.
Shotgun snap by Majewski. Play action. He rolls. Now he could run, and he's going to pick up the first down and a little bit more. Already scored once today. He'll get pushed out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That shows you right there the maturity of a 4-year starter. Like, instead of trying to force something, make a play. Hey, I got green grass in front of me. Run, pick up a first down. You know, and now you really got Valor Christian's back against the wall here.
A gain of 17 on 3rd and 13.
He's had two passing touchdowns. He's had a rushing touchdown and picked up a big play right there.
It's pretty simple. You have an explosive offense and a team in Valor Christian trying to figure things out. Let's see if they can get a defensive stand. Majewski with the snap, heads it off. Blaze, and can he get it over there? And he does. Breaks the plane and scores.
That right there would have made Alex Gibbs and Mike Shanahan proud. They just ran outside zone. He stretched the play, put a foot in the ground, got vertical, and found a way to get in the end zone. And if you're Valor right now, you just got to really kind of gather your troops and say, hey, we need something very, very productive on this first drive. Coming out, put together some first downs. Let's not worry about explosive plays. Let's not worry about scoring right now. Let's worry about just being consistent and seeing if we can keep them off the field.
Blaze with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. My goodness, 26-0. We're just getting started in the 2nd quarter. And the kick blocked yet again. This time there will be a flag.
You might get a roughing the snapper penalty right here.
See what the call would be. Good eye, Coach.
Usually when that umpire throws that flag. Now, if you're Mountain Vista, I would assume you go for 2.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Sending out their starting unit.
Move the ball to the 2.5-yard line. Move it down to the 1. They're going to have to shore up something in that PAT block, though, because that's the second one they've had blocked right now.
I would imagine, Coach, that there's at one point where you want to motivate your guys. You may some people would say yelling, but I call it motivating your guys to really get them going, to really go get them focused. When you're down 26-0, Coach, what do you do?
Well, yelling at them right now, they know that they're not playing very well. So I'm not sure screaming at them, telling them they're not playing very well is going to do it. I think you almost go the opposite. You got to pump them up, tell them, hey, we're a good football team.
Strong side is to the right side. Majeski will roll out that way, finds a man wide open. That's going to be a catch. We do have a flag that is down as Jakai Mack catches that. And if it will stand, it will be a 2-point conversion. Not too sure if it will stand, though. We'll see what the call will be. And here it is. So pass interference by Sean Conway. So with that, you take your offense off, and what do? You send the field goal team right back in.
You better tell your guys up front they better protect inside gaps.
Is that what you're seeing? You're seeing the inside gaps that are being exposed?
That last one was two guys, coming right through like guard tackle tight end gap. The one previous, the guy just came off the edge. Guy should never be able to block it coming off the edge, really.
Well, this is going to be a point after attempt. That'll be 35 yards.
33 has got to be able to get a hand on, or 17's got to be able to get a hand on that outside guy.
We're going to call it 34 yards. Now, Hunter Dale can make it from 50 to 55. Let's see the big leg go up. And, man, he is good on that one, huh? Well, don't let the young man fool you by not kicking a field goal for the first time in 2 years. He has plenty of leg as that PAT goes through. And Mountain Vista now leads 27-0 over Valor Christian.
Good protection right there on the PAT. I think on the 2-point play, I think they just had an illegal pick. I think Conway came down and just kind of ran into, and we don't tell him it's illegal pick. You got to have a rub.
Right.
Rub play. But, if you block the guy, got a guy to the flat wide open.
Beautiful evening at Halftime Help Stadium. Mountain Vista. For the last couple of years, they've been real close to beating Valor Christian. 2 years ago, they had a big lead, lost it. Last year, they were down by a bunch early, then came back and lost it in the end. But now they're out to a 27-0 lead. Let's see if Valor Christian can be able to respond as this one goes over the head of Cash Spence. Valor Christian will start once again at their own 20-yard line. Justin Adams and Coach Juan Wadalevich, former head coach of Dakota Ridge. By the way, how's Dakota Ridge doing these days, Coach?
Dakota Ridge is 4-1. They're ranked number 2 in the RPI seating index right now. So, and they're ahead tonight, 15-0 over Ponderosa, just about at halftime.
So you say they don't need you? I mean, I thought they needed you, Coach.
I'll tell you what, breaks my heart. I thought maybe that. Guess I was just a legend in my own mind.
Well, you got the legendary coach in the booth giving us some great insight tonight. But you know what? Valor Christian needs all the help they can get. This will be their 4th drive, and each drive so far ended in a punt.
I'm not sure they ran more than 12 plays total.
Dawson Oak, he tried to go and pick up some yards on the read option and not able to pick up anything on that one.
And I'm not sure that's Dawson Oak's forte right there, is running zone keep.
Carter Daniels on the tackle, the guy to keep an eye on today. We talked a lot about him and what he could bring. He was injured last year, Coach, and this is one of the games that he circled on the calendar, wanted to be able to play against Valor Christian. And the team in black is doing fantastic in this one. Oak.
He's a good player.
Steps up, has a man over the middle. Nice diving catch, and the first down of the day for the Eagles. Catching that has been Herbeck. Herbeck had 17 touchdown receptions last year. We do have a flag on the play. It looks like a sideline warning by Valor Christian. So no yardage will be walked off, just a warning. Gain of 15, first down and 10 for Valor Christian. And again, really, really important drive here, Coach.
Yeah, that was a big first down. Now they, get another first down, and they got to find some way to piece some first downs together and see if they can get a score right here. Start making yourself feel a little bit better. Keep your defense off the field.
In motion is Cash Spence. Oak looking to his left, throws it that way. Nice completion.
Good timing route right there.
Seems like they have something on the out route. As catching that one is Jackson Coleman, who has one receiving touchdown of this year.
Good timing route right there. Ball was out of his hand before the receiver got out of his break. That's what they got to do. Play pitch and catch right here.
Well, if you're Mountain Vista, do you bring your guys up a little bit, try to take away the out routes?
Well, earlier they were playing kind of press, and then they had the one big shot over the top. So maybe that kind of put a little fear in them.
Back-to-back plays, back-to-back first downs. Now you give it to the big man over the middle, and you finally get it to Golden Eagle territory for the first time today. That's Elliott Smith. Elliott Smythe, rather. Beg your pardon. Pickup of 12 yards.
They've been high percentage passes right now. Not anything big, 7, 8, 10 yards. They're running for first downs.
Actually, it's a pickup of 14. First down and 10 for Valor Christian. Oh my goodness. Oh, you threw that ball into the flat. Unfortunately, Quillen Gullick was waiting in the wings to go and knock down Chase Hanish and did just that.
Hanish did a good job of getting up, and he got hit.
Got tattooed.
He's lucky that thing didn't get a pick six right there. And again, Carter Daniels, first guy over to congratulate him.
Oak hands it off. Hanish goes through the trash and not able to pick up much. Short gain of 2.
Well, this drive, what Valor's had success is they've had success on first down, the first couple first downs. So they're playing, now that play, they're behind the sticks on first down. Now you got 3rd and 8.
Well, very important 3rd down and 8 at the 41. Bryce Bolton, by the way, on the stop.
I'm assuming you're 4-down territory right here. Give yourself something manageable if you don't pick up a first down.
Oak looks to his right, now over the middle, and oh man, wasn't on the same page with his wide receiver. Jackson Coleman didn't have his hand turned around, and the ball went right to him. Defending on the play was Quillen Gullick.
I remember doing a game for Fanview last year, Valor Christian against Fairview. Fairview was ahead 28-0, and Valor Christian came back and won the game. So I still wouldn't count Valor out.
And Valor Christian will use its second timeout, and with that, we will use one as well. 27-0, Mountain Vista on top of Valor Christian. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado. Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado is brought to you by Sculpted MD Hollage Ranch West. 27-0, Mountain Vista up. 4th and 8 for Valor Christian. Second time today. Wants to throw short, and it is caught. Beautiful catch. We do have a flag on the play, but Chase Beal with the snag on 4th and 8, but will it stand? Coach, what do you think? If it stands, it will be a first down, as the flag is at the 28. So the hold was on Brooklyn Bailey. So you can wipe that holding call away. Pickup of 11 yards, and Valor Christian keeps this drive moving.
Big penalty right there.
Clock continues to roll with 8:17 to go. Oak steps back. Wants to throw, got pressure at his face. Oh, and had his man on the wheel route. Elliott Smythe. Holy cow. Would have had the first down and maybe a little bit more. So the ball falls incomplete, Coach. And you wanted everything you needed on that one. You had man-to-man coverage. Got the wheel route, just couldn't get it to your tight end.
Yeah. Looked like he kind of gave up on the route a little bit. If he'd have kept going, I think it was a good ball by Oaks.
This will be the 10th play of the drive.
You got to get something
all the way
positive
to the
here.
20-yard line. Yep. Oak hands off to Chase Hanish. Hanish just having a tough time finding some green grass. And maybe he'll pick up a yard. Nice job by the big uglies up front, and we'll have a flag. And, oh, man, that might be on Mountain Vista, Coach. Will Stoops being pushed away by his teammates. And the last thing you want is to pick up a personal foul. Well, Coach, it's one of the plays you can't have. You have all the momentum going your way. Valor Christian just looking for any type of air to breathe. And when you give up plays like that, makes it very, very difficult for you to keep the momentum.
Yeah, you're just helping Valor out right now. They were lost. They were struggling offensively, and now you've given them 2 first downs in this drive. You've given them some hope, momentum. You know, you want to get off the field defensively and get that dynamic offense.
Clock continues to move. Under 8 minutes to go. Now you have 3 guys in the backfield for Valor Christian. And Dawson Oak, he'll take it. Goes to the left side and loses his hat as it gets knocked out of bounds. Oh, my. Oh, man, Dawson Oak.
See if they go with...
Was knocked out of bounds by Austin Scheich.
See if they go with the Hulk package here.
Well, you better, because you won't be able to use Dawson Oak for the next couple of plays.
Oak's got to go out of the game, so...
Oh, man. Well, got to make sure that that young man is okay. Gain of 7 on that run. Yeah, we'll see you come out with the Hulk formation. Just a wing tee, and that's exactly what Valor Christian will do.
Here's the Hulk package.
Move a couple of the guys over. Mountain Vista well prepared for this. Spence with it. Spence gets the first down as he gets inside the 5, knocked down at the 4.
Going to stay in the Hulk package here.
And sometimes you will say, hey, let's go kind of a no-huddle offense. But you know what, if you're a Valor Christian coach, you just want to make sure you get the right plays in to end this in the end zone.
This is what they wanted to do earlier in the game, and they couldn't get guys in and out. Now they got their guys, Cash Spence.
Quarterback, number 1, that's Cash Spence. Takes the snap, going to the left side, gets a nice push, and Valor Christian finally gets on the board. 4-yard touchdown run by Cash Spence.
Big drive by Valor Christian right there. They needed something positive to happen.
Coach is all about that left side. Look at the big uglies making the guys move. Davis move, Cannon Smith doing a great job for that left side. And looks like Valor Christian will go for the point after attempt rather than going for 2, and that brings in Mason Walters. Walters this year done a great job with PATs. Perfect 7 for 7. Kick is up, and it is good.
2 good kickers in this game.
Yep. So with 7 minutes remaining in quarter number 2, Valor Christian finally gets on the board and cuts into this lead. Mountain Vista leads 27-7 as you're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado. As you see some of the cheerleaders at Halftime Help Stadium, gives us a chance to let you know that today's game is brought to you by Sculpted MD Highlands Ranch West. With 20 years plus of professional experience, helping hundreds of customers balance hormones, lose weight, and create programs for future success, schedule a free, no obligation consultation. That's a 4-play. That is rather 11-play. 80-yard drive, and Valor Christian tried to do a onside kick. I think had a couple of guys go off sides beforehand, and looking at Coach Brett McGatlin, and he has his hands extended, telling one of his guys, hey, you got to stay behind the ball. So you're trying to go and steal the possession by going to a surprise onside kick, not able to work there. I would imagine right here, the guys are scooted up a bit. You probably will kick this one off deep.
Yeah. You know, I like the call, though. I mean, you score, you got a little momentum back. Hey, if you could steal the possession, go down again, all of a sudden, you know, you're looking at a 10-point game.
Walters, he'll pooch kick this. Will be returned. Oh, no, it's fumbled. And who got it? Is it Valor Christian? The Valor Christian sideline's going crazy. And they have it.
So the offside penalty actually benefits them because then they pooch. And again, get under it and catch the ball. Fair catch that. It's a high pooch, just fair catch it. This could be a huge momentum factor right here. If Valor can go down and find a way to score, you're completely out of the game. And then next thing you know, you're only down 13 and it's not even halftime yet. It's still 7 minutes.
Brendan Burskin was the guy who was under the ball, just let it go right through him. And how about this for Valor Christian? You get the ball at the 32-yard line. Looking for a way to go and steal the momentum. That's the way to do it. Dawson Oak takes the snap, looks to his left. He wants the home run ball. And it's caught by Cash Spence. 5 in the end zone. Welcome back to this game. Valor Christian with 6.
Got a penalty flag at the 15. See what the call is. If it's a holding, a defensive holding, it's in the middle of the field, so it was away from where the pass went in the touchdown. Valor kids are jumping up and down.
See what the call is. And it's holding.
He signaled to Valor, but I don't think he's talking to Coach McGowan. I think it's the other way. There.
Wow.
So a quick turn of events right here. All of a sudden, you went from Mountain Vista in complete control, all the momentum, all the excitement, to now it's going to be a 13-point game with 6 minutes till half. You've quieted down the homecoming crowd. Now you got to hope your defense can come out and get at least a stop.
Well, Coach, I'm not too sure if that pass was actually to Cash Spence. We'll take another look at this one after the PAT, and it's up and through. But take another look at this pass as Cash Spence was able to go and take this one to the house. This is his 6th receiving touchdown of the year. But I think this pass might have actually been to Jace Beal.
Yeah, I think
if we could take another look at it.
I agree. I think he's trying to go deep, and Cash just does a good job. He just makes a play on the ball.
How about this? 2 touchdown scores in the span of 15 seconds?
Yep. And I tell you what, if I'm Coach Looney this week in practice, I'm finding my return guys who can catch. They muffed and fumbled 2 punts that they were lucky to get back. Now they fumbled a pooch kickoff that Valor recovered and led to a touchdown. So let's see if Coach McGowan wants to try and surprise onside kick again, or if he's feeling okay about things. I'd probably pooch kick again.
Now this will be kicked off at the 50-yard line. I guess you add the penalty yardage.
Yeah, the penalty, yeah. So not a bad time to onside kick or pooch.
Well, we'll see if we get another pooch. Nope, this one will go deep and into the end zone.
Austin Majeski tried to make him go 80.
Mm-hmm. Well, they haven't had problems going 80. They haven't had problems going 97.
Nope.
To be honest, they could be at Mountain Vista, and it will start a drive from there. They'll be able to score.
Let's see if they're rusty here. They haven't been out on the field for a spell. I mean, 2 consecutive offensive possessions for Valor.
6:51 to go in quarter number 2. Mountain Vista, the last time that they had the ball, they were up by 27. Now the offense is out, holding on to a 13-point advantage. See what Majeski and crew can do. Majeski in the pocket, comfortable with a drag route, and there is nobody there. Great job on the catch, but nobody really there defending. Nice job on the
empty
catch.
Formation, nobody in the backfield. Great pass protection by the Mountain Vista kids. I mean, if you sit here and look, watch. He's at 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. I mean, he had 4 seconds, and then he's getting the ball to those fast playmakers.
Gain of 8. Got the ball to Japri Jennings. Just a lot of short, fast guys you see from Mountain Vista on the field.
Yep, great running plays. I mean, it's better trying to go. Good discipline by Valor on the hard count.
Majeski with a little bit of pressure moves around and throws it, and oh my goodness, has a guy wide open. 40, 35, 30, gets past the man. You won't catch him today. Jack Blaze is ablaze in the end zone.
Man, I like that kid.
60, make that, coach, 72 yards. When you just thought you had the momentum, Mountain Vista takes your heart and rips the momentum right back.
Yeah. You know what? Look right here. Majeski, good job. Step up. Look. Going to scramble. Keeps his eyes up the field. You know, this is a scramble drill you work on. You know, quarterback starts scrambling. One guy go deep. One guy come back to the ball and give him options.
And the penalty's down. The fans don't like it. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty by Mountain Vista. And this is an offense that averages 54 points a game. Right now they have 33.
I hate high school kids having fun. It's homecoming, and you get an excessive celebration penalty. I mean, you know, let them have fun. If they're doing something that's obnoxious, I get it. But you know, if you're gonna have touchdowns and want the game to be fun for high school kids, then let them have some fun.
Coach, another quick drive, a two-play, 80-yard drive as Jack Blaze takes that, 72 yards to the house. And for Blaze, that's his 7th receiving touchdown of the year and also his 2nd of the day.
Wondering if Mountain Vista's defense is like, hey, pump the brakes a little bit here. He just came off the field.
Well, what happens if you go both ways, Coach? You know, you play offense and defense.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Speaking of which, you have a guy here in Colorado, in Travis Hunter. The way that he's able to play both ways for the Buffs. Have you seen anything like that before?
No, it's unbelievable. And he never gets tired. It's unbelievable. And he is good at both sides. I mean, he's a great tackler. He's a great defender at corner. He can catch. He's a great route runner. The only thing I haven't really seen him do is give him the ball in any reverses or jet sweeps or anything like that offensively, but I'm sure they got that in the package.
A long kick will be returned at the 2. To the 20. Nice move to the 27 before it wrapped up and take it down. Returning one was Wilson Potacek.
If you're Valor now, you need to come back and do what you just did. Short ball control pass game, get some first downs, try and come back and get a quick score again.
I mean, Coach, it has to be demoralizing, I would imagine, if you're Valor Christian. You just got 2 quick scores. You look like you finally have some things moving. 2 plays later, you're down by 20 again.
Yeah, it just takes the wind right out of your sail. You just got to be sitting there going, you know, feel like you're at a tennis match where it's just, you know, one way. Showed up at a football game and a track meet broke out.
Oak looking to slow things down. Back in at quarterback. Good sign to see from him. Last time he was in, lost his helmet. And now a wide receiver screen like this one. Chase Hanish. A lot of speed. Picks up a couple of yards. Sets up 2nd down.
I think Coach Stitt is onto something here. That last drive, this drive, short ball control pass.
Lucas Conklin on the tackle. Gain of 7. Sets up 2nd down and 3. And you were just speaking about that. Sometimes you got to get the ball out to the perimeter.
Yeah, just playmaker. That's a great run play right there. Probably don't have a run play that's guaranteeing you 7.
3 down linemen from Mountain Vista. Oak hands this off to Chase Hanish, and he has nowhere to go. First guy there on the stop, Quillen Gullick.
You can't give up on the run at this point, but you know you're not getting a lot of movement up front.
Well, is there something you could do maybe for the guys that you have on the field? Maybe you could bring in another tight end to be able to help out with that outside linebacker?
Yeah. They got, I mean, you know, I don't know if you can keep a back end, but maybe a fullback, tight end.
Oak looking to throw over the middle, and that's going to be complete on the first down catch and run. Gets it down to the 46-yard line, Elliot Smythe.
Might be a little too late, but Coach Stitt's kind of dialed in right here in terms of rhythm offensively, short ball control pass game. Keep that one in mind because they had the swing route. The motion guy was wide open on the swing route too.
Gain of 10. No huddle offense for Valor Christian. Oak throws it to Cash Spence. Spence will go into Golden Eagle territory, and he'll pick up the first down.
Somebody up in the press box was watching the same thing I was watching. Send him in motion. They didn't cover him last time, so let's go back to it and give him the ball for 10, 11 yards.
Brings it down to the 43-yard line. Gain of 11. First down, Valor Christian. Well, now it looks like you have a track meet on both sides. It seems like Valor Christian finally got comfortable to their offense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're in a rhythm now, which is what you got to have offensively if you want to have any success at all.
Approaching 4:30 to go in quarter number 2. Mountain Vista up by 20. Oak fires deep, has a man, and it is,
he dropped
just dropped by Ben Herbeck. Defending for Mountain Vista look to be Japri Jennings.
Boy, you had him. Great ball.
Actually, defending on the play was Brooklyn Bailey, the sophomore.
Right through his hands. Great ball, though, right there by Oak.
Herbert got to come up with that one. Second down and 10. Just a short pass. Patacek. He'll pick up the first down and a little bit more. Making some moves in the open field. Needs one more block, and he'll be taken down inside the 25.
Well, you got to feel good if you're Valor right now. You found something on offense. You're moving the ball. You got a couple touchdowns. Somewhere along the line, you got to try and get to halftime without giving up another score and get in, get on the whiteboard, whatever you got to do, and figure out what you can do to slow down this Mountain Vista offense.
How about a gain of 20? And it's almost one of those games, Coach, that you look at the clock and you say, well, we need to score, but maybe not score too quickly.
Yeah. I mean, that's –
Mountain Vista had the ball first.
I want to have a 23-yard, 3 minutes and 45-second drive.
Well, before we get to that, Mountain Vista, they'll call their first timeout of the second half, and we'll step aside. 34-14's our score. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado.
My name is Reese. I go to Hillsdale College and run track and field for them. I've been seeing FICP team performance for 7 years now. They have helped me through numerous injuries. They helped me get back on track, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. I highly, highly recommend FICPT for any and all injuries. Even if you aren't planning to be injured, they are an incredible resource to have in your corner. And I am so excited to be continuing working with them and highly, highly recommend them to anyone and everyone.
The rivalry that's only separated by 2 miles as Mountain Vista looking for their first win ever over Valor Christian. Currently up 34-14, Justin Adams as well as Coach Ron Wadalevich. And Coach, this is a huge drive for Valor Christian so far. This will be their 7th play of the drive that started at their own 29-yard line.
Yeah, it's good, sustained drive. High percentage passes. We might be getting into Hulk territory down here pretty quick.
Oak holding on to it, lifts it up, and it is missed by Cash Spence. And the fans here are saying that Spence pushed down Shakai Mack.
Hard to disagree, I think, with him right there. I mean, you look at it, I think it was pretty obvious it was an offensive pass interference call. If you watch right here, he just kind of gives him
arm extended.
Left hand, arm extended, left hand, pushing him, causing him to go to the ground. Oh, they did call it. What did they call? It's a 5-yard penalty. I didn't see what the call was.
Well, we missed that one.
Maybe false start?
We'll just go with whatever, right?
Yeah.
Just a couple of things. Illegal formation,
So
false start.
We're about the non-call. We missed the call.
Maybe the referee just wanted to throw a flag, one of those things. First down and 15, ball at the 28. Oak, quarterback draw. Picks up at least a penalty yardage, or gets close to as he's taken down at the 25.
Again, that might be one of those calls. Let's milk the clock a little bit. We got a great kicker, so we know we're at least in field goal range. If we can get it, run this clock down, get at least a field goal, we make it a 3-score game at that point.
Quillen Gullick on the stop. If you see this and you're Coach Garrett Looney with Mountain Vista, would you call a timeout? You have 2 remaining.
Yeah, I think depending on what happens right here, with your dynamic offense, I think you want to save as much time as you can, get yourself the ball back again.
Oak looking for a quick shot over the middle, a bullet pass that's completed. Tell you what, I like this young man, Elliott Smythe, able to go and pick up the first down, gets it inside the 10, down to the 5. A gain of 20, first down and goal to go.
And Valor has found something with the tight end. Mountain Vista's having a hard time trying to cover the tight end.
And here comes Dawson Oak, and can he get into the end zone? Pushes the pile, and he stopped right at the 1. Well, this is where you may have to play the clock game here because you don't want to score too quickly if you're Valor Christian, especially with the explosive offense we've seen from Mountain Vista.
Yeah, I think right there I'd have probably called.
Oh, my goodness.
Carter Daniels.
Oh, my. We told you will see number 0 in this game. With there he is in black, Carter Daniels sniffing us out for the loss.
Here's where I think if I was Coach Looney, I'd be calling timeout right now. It's third down, 2 minutes. I'd call timeout because Valor's going to get the ball to start the half because they deferred at the beginning. So if they score here and you can't reciprocate, they're going to get another possession.
Loss of 2 yards, third down and goal to go from the 3.
Textbook tackle right there.
Talk about a big play. Yeah, I love that tackle, right?
Yeah. We'll go Hulk.
Means it's Cash Spence time. Move a couple of guys over. Spence, he'll take it. Inside give, and getting into the end zone will be Chase Hanish. Hanish scores from 3 yards out. Mountain Vista scores for their 3rd possession in a row. Once again, we got a ball game, 34-20.
Surprised that Coach Looney didn't use some timeouts right there and keep, of course, at the rate they're going, a minute 30 might seem like eternity to them.
Well, Coach, how about this for Mountain Vista? Coming into this game, they have only given up 24 points all year. In the first half, they've given up 21.
Yeah.
But it's all about what they have on offense as they lead 34-21 with 90 seconds to go in the first half.
About 30 minutes ago, we'd have thought this thing was on its way to being a 40-point run the clock. And now all of a sudden you look up and it's a 13-point game. Valor gets the ball to start the half. They found something offensively. They just need to find a way to get a stop defensively. And the way Mountain Vista's been going, they might score here in a minute 30. 2 timeouts. Might be another 70, 80-yard pass.
Well, let's just be honest with the way that Mountain Vista is playing, Coach. If they have 2 seconds, they have enough to score in this game, the way that they have played so far. Just look at some of the drives that Mountain Vista has had. 6-play drive in the end zone. 3-play drive, touchdown. 2-play drive, touchdown. 8-play drive, which was the longest of the day, that ended in the end zone. And then you had, in the last drive, a 2-play drive that ended up in pay dirt.
This is how good they are offensively. We asked the coaches before the game who their punter was. Nobody knew who their punter was because they never punt.
Well, we find all the stats on Max Prep, and they didn't have a stat for a kicker.
Yeah.
Another pooch kick will be returned at the 12-yard line, and a wide open hole. And oh, man, could be some problems at the 45, 50, 40. This young man can go 30, 25 to the 24. He's knocked out of bounds. Ja'Kai Mack.
Got a flag back here at the 40.
Oh, but there is that yellow hanky on the field, and this could bring it all the way back. But even when you're trying to do a pooch punt, my goodness, Mountain Vista's making things happen. And one of the players upset.
Oh,
that is unnecessary
Valor.
roughness. Wow.
That's going to be half the distance. That tacked on to the end of the run.
Well, let's take a look
Let's
at
see,
this one,
number
Coach.
20, they said. Let's see if we can find 20 on here somewhere.
Well, it might be right at the end as you take a look at Mack. And he runs out of bounds. I don't know about that one, Coach. If that was going to be knocked out of bounds maybe late, that's a little tough for B1 right there, Coach.
If you're Valor, you're thinking, we got to score. We're 13, minute 30. Let's get into halftime. We get the ball. We can't, and then next thing you know, you got a team that you can't stop from the 4-yard line has got first and goal at the 10 with 2 timeouts.
Last week, Mountain Vista scored 49 points in the first half against Overland. They have the chance to reach that 40-point mark again with a minute 18 to go in the first half. Handoff. Blaze.
Boy, great block.
And Blaze will get down to the 8-yard line, but that's going to come back. Be a holding penalty on Mountain Vista. And that seems to be the only thing that stopped the Golden Eagles today have been the flags.
Yeah, they're trying to give themselves a challenge. Challenging themselves. Like, we got to run some clock here. 10 yards is, can't pad our stats from the 10-yard line. Let's go from the 20.
Well, for some reason, the clock will actually move. I don't understand why on a penalty.
Offensive penalty.
Okay.
Offensive penalty inside 2 minutes.
Always helps to have a head coach in here, right?
Wind the clock.
Under a minute to go. Mountain
My guess
Vista.
is they're going to throw it here.
They have 2 timeouts remaining. Let's see if Coach will be right about them throwing. Strong chance that will happen.
Blitz off the edge.
And here comes the blitz off the edge. Picked up well. Thrown to the side. Mack has it.
One-on-one.
And he almost got
Good
away.
tackle. 2 good plays. A great stiff arm to drive him into the ground, but even a better job. Is that Cash Spence again?
Brandon Wright on tackle.
Brandon Wright on the tackle. Hanging on for dear life as you're getting your face slammed into the ground.
Gain of 7 yards. And sometimes that's the way it is. They actually initially lost the handle on Mack and was able just to go a trip up Mack at the end. But that is a gain of 7. Mountain Vista will use their timeout. That's their second timeout. They have 1 remaining with 40.1 seconds to go. Coach, you got a couple of scores.
Here we got Arapahoe's leading Grandview 13-0 at half. Mullins 21-6 over Vista Peak. Erie's 28-0 over Rangeview. Douglas County Fountain Fort Carson 14-14. Fossil Ridge 20-7 over Legacy in 5A. In 4A tonight, right now Montrose 56-6 over Falcon. My old team Dakota Ridge 15-0 over Ponderosa at halftime. Palmer Ridge 24-6 over Air Academy. Broomfield 24-0 over Longmont. Matchup of 2 top 10 teams. Number 7 Rampart, number 9 Durango. Durango leading 14-6 with 11 minutes to go in the game.
Here at Halftime Help Stadium, we have number 2 versus number 3. And number 3 currently on top, leading 34-21. Mountain Vista looking to get some more. And oh man, what a pass.
What a pass.
On a rope. Touchdown, Mountain Vista.
What a pass. What a great route. Sell the route deep. Hit the brakes. What did you tell us? We call that a snag or a deep comeback route. What did you tell our kids? You ever seen Top Gun where he says, what am I going to do? I'm going to hit the brakes and let them fly right by. Watch right here. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to hit the brakes. And the ball's delivered on time. And just like that, we were wondering if they could score in a minute 30.
Kind of helps when you get the ball also at the 20-yard line. 13-yard.
It took them 55 seconds.
Yep. Actually started this drive at the 10-yard line. But once again, Mountain Vista for back-to-back games score 40 or more points in the first half. As the PAT is up and true, and with 35.8 seconds to go, it is Mountain Vista 41, Valor Christian 21. Gives us a chance to let you know that today's game is brought to you by Fortis. Fortis seeks to be the market leader in roof performance. Fortis provides solutions that allow asset managers and portfolio owners to maintain complete confidence in not only their roof, but the people within it that it protects. Justin Adams, Coach Ron Wadalevich, Coach Woes. By the way, but how long did it take for people to pronounce your name correctly? Your last name? Especially players like freshmen. How does that work?
Yeah, that's why I always go by Woj, because that name actually got stuck with me in high school because my head coach in high school, Steve Bell, couldn't say my last name either. And there was a TV sitcom called Barney Miller, which was a cop show.
Yeah.
They had an officer, Wojahowitz, on there.
Nice.
And so he just always called me Wojahowitz, and it just became Woj. And so that's been with me since 1979.
Right now, Coach Brett McGatlin is looking for answers. The last 3 times that Valor Christian has had the ball, they have scored touchdowns. But it's the beginning that really hurt them, down 27-0 to get things started. Down by 20, 35.8 seconds to go. Coach, you have 1 timeout. If you're Valor Christian, do you try to push the ball downfield, or do you say, hey, we're down by 20, we get the ball first in the second half, let's go and get to halftime?
I'd take at least a shot right here on the first, not a shot necessarily, but on the first play. I think I'd run my offense, see what we get. If we don't get anything, then maybe I run it out. If we gain some momentum, get up 15-20, then all of a sudden we get into a route and go.
And Hanish with the run.
And it looks like they're going to be content with just running this thing out, going to halftime, try and regroup defensively, special teams. You found a groove offensively now if you're Valor. You got to feel good about what you've come up with. They just got to find something defensively to try and get a stop.
Looks to be the final play of the first half, or maybe that was it. And it will be it.
And the thing is, Mountain Vista's offense has just got so many dynamic playmakers, I don't even know where you start.
Well, you know what? Valor Christian has 20 minutes to figure it out, as Mountain Vista has scored on every drive in the first half, They have a commanding 41-21 lead over Valor Christian. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado.
And we welcome you back to Halftime Help Stadium. Justin Adams and now head coach Juan Alevich back into the booth with our score 41-21. Mountain Vista all over Valor Christian. And coach, it has been just an impressive first half. Just putting out these stats a couple of moments ago. How about this? Mountain Vista thrown for 319 yards in the first half alone. They have just been fantastic out there. And when you look at Austin Majeski, he is 15 of 16 for 319 yards, 4 touchdown passes. I mean, it just doesn't get any better for the young man.
No, that's a highlight. That's a resume. That's a career for some high school kids. And they did a good job. And one of the things, if you're Coach McGowan, you're in there talking about is one of his keys to the game was stop the explosive play. And Valor just hasn't been able to do that between, an 87-yard touchdown pass, a 60-yard touchdown pass, kickoff return down to the 10-yard line. Somehow they got to try and limit those explosive plays, score, get at least one stop on defense.
Mountain Vista has also ran for 92 yards in the first half, too, and they've scored 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, it's just been everywhere Mountain Vista has been able to attack Valor Christian. So if you're Valor Christian, what do you do in the second half just to be able to slow things down?
I mean, it's like I said, 4 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns. It's like kind of pick your poison, and I think somehow they got to try and get some pressure on Majeski as a quarterback. Now let him play, but Mountain Vista has so many playmakers on offense. I mean, we've seen it from Blaze, we've seen it from a bunch of different kids. Conway, Jennings making a play that it's just a matter of who do you try and stop, and sometimes the other team is just better.
You just see Sean Conway with one of his 2 scores today. That was an 87-yard touchdown reception. And if you like that, you're going to see another one as Majeski steps up, rolls around a little bit, and then finds another receiver. How about this one? Jack Blaze from 72 yards out.
Yeah, Blaze is a dynamic player. I mean, I'd known about him a little bit, but to watch him, how he hits the hole, how hard he hits the hole, and then he's got some moves, he's got some speed to go with it. So if you're Valor, you just got to find a way to get a stop, put some pressure.
Well, score 41-21. We'll figure out what Valor Christian will do in the second half. They will get the ball first as we look at the wonderful band from Mountain Vista doing their thing on their homecoming. They're joining a 20-point advantage as you're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado. 41-21 is our score. Mountain Vista on top of Valor Christian. Justin Adams and Ron Walalevich with you. And want to let you know that our halftime highlights were presented by Sculpted MD. At Sculpted MD Highlands Ranch, they pride themselves on being your premier destination for revitalizing your health and enhancing your natural beauty. Schedule a free, no obligation consultation today. Also want to let you know that at the conclusion of today's game, we're going to select the Fortis Player of the Game. Fortis seeks to be the market leader in roof performance. Fortis provides solutions that allow asset managers and portfolio owners to maintain complete confidence in not only their roof, but the people within that it protects. Make sure that you go and give Fortis a call today. Well, you can go out and get some help with your roofing, but right now, if you're the defense of Valor Christian, you just need some help being able to get the Golden Eagles off the field. Mountain Vista has had the ball, and doing my math, they've had the ball, I believe, 7 times. They have scored every time, Coach. Actually, they had the ball 6 times.
6 times.
They scored every time.
6 for 6. Yep. Again, back to what we were talking about. Even the coaches didn't know the punter. Yep. And when you look at Max Preps, they haven't punted all year.
Well, that might be the best stat
all
day, right? We have no idea who our punter is because we average 54 points a game, and that goes right into our keys of the game, Coach. And look, you said, hey, you have to take care of that football. Mountain Vista scored every time. If you're doing that every time, you're obviously taking care of the rock.
Yeah, you can check every one of those boxes. They're taking care of the football, handle adversity. They really haven't had any adversity to have to really deal with other than when Valor had back-to-back possessions where they scored, might have been a little adversity, but then they responded back with a touchdown right away. So they've handled that and just be themselves, do what they do, and they are doing what they do. I mean, this is what they do. They average 50 points a game. Majeski takes the game over, makes plays. You know, you can check all those boxes. They did exactly what Coach said they needed to do for a key to this game.
All right, let's look on the opposite side for Valor Christian, just down by 20. You did a game last year where they were down 28-0 against Fairview. They came back and won that game. How can they do so this time around?
Well, got to start with that first one. Limit Mountain Vista having dynamic and explosive plays. They haven't did that. You know, we've talked about the long runs, long touchdown passes, the long kickoff return. They haven't been able to do that. Ball control and on offense, early on they didn't do that. They were 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Then they got a little rhythm. Short ball control pass game that Coach Stick came up with, moved down, scored, got a pooch kick where it was fumbled, and tackle well to eliminate explosive plays. And they haven't really had a chance to tackle to stop explosive plays because guys have been so wide open that there's nobody there to really make a tackle.
Would you go to a zone defense? Maybe you try to go and move your DBs back. One thing that we've heard a lot of guys talking about is that cover 2 defense where you have 2 safeties and they're pretty much over the top. But the way that Mountain Vista's playing, I don't know if that will work.
Well, I think that's something you got to try. Much to the demise of Mel Kiper Jr., I think, run a cover 2 defense and basically force Mountain Vista to try and run the ball. But Blaze is so dynamic. You want the ball in his hands. But I think let's try and force them to run the ball because I don't think it's really what they want to do. It's not their makeup. So, go to a cover 2 look. What do they say to beat a cover 2 look? You got to be able to run the ball if you don't want me to play cover 2. So I would go to cover 2.
One thing that was always taught to me, Coach, was that the first 5 minutes of the second half is the most important 5 minutes because it really sets the tone. No matter what the score is, it sets the tone for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
Valor Christian gets the ball first. What can they do in these first 5 minutes just to be able to really get themselves back into this one?
They got to make sure they flip the field position, whether they score or not. And I think if I'm Coach McGowan at halftime, I was like, hey, let's forget about the score right now. Okay, let's just say it's 0-0. Let's reset. Let's start over. We got 24 minutes. And if I were him, I would have shared the story about last year. Remember, guys, we were down 28-0 against a good Fairview team, came back won 29-28. So we've been there. We can do this. But I think offensively, they got to come down and get a good drive right here. And, ideally you want to score, at least get a field goal. But you can't go 3 and out and punt and give that dynamic offense of Mountain Vista the ball, the 45, the 40-yard line, and give them a short field to work with.
But once again, when you look at Austin Majeski and Mountain Vista, what they have done on offense in the first half, Austin Majeski 15 of 16 for 319 yards, 4 touchdown passes. You look at guys like Jack Blaze, he has 2 touchdown runs today. Blaze actually has 1 touchdown run, 1 receiving touchdown. The other touchdown run was by Majeski. So Majeski has accounted for 35 points on his lonesome, 5 touchdowns on his lonesome today.
Yeah, that's why he's the Gatorade Player of the Year and probably ideally should win it again. We said he needed, 1,600 yards or something or 600 yards to break the record?
Yeah, he's not too far away.
Yeah, he's halfway with another half to go.
As Mountain Vista will kick this one away. Valor Christian won the toss in the first half. They deferred to the second half. And they will have the ball first to get things started. 12 minutes on the clock, 24 minutes to go in this game. In the battle between the 2 teams that are just separated by 2 miles, rather.
2 miles. Private versus
public, baby. Doesn't get any better than that, right?
Nope, it doesn't.
Speaking with Coach Garrett Looney, he talked about when he came to Mountain Vista 6 years ago, he said, and I quote, we weren't good.
Yeah.
We weren't a good football team. He knew that it was going to take time to go and build up this program, and you just see just the fruit of his labor so far. Oak wants to throw deep. Has a man, and this is Dolhoven.
Great catch.
Are you kidding me?
Great catch.
That is a catch. What a play right off the gates by Jace Beal.
Well, like I said, they should come out and run a short ball control pass game. Nope. Coach Stitt says, let's go for it right out of the chute.
Oh, my, 35 yards. Well, that's the way to get your heart pumping.
That was a great catch. He's sold out. It's important to him right there. I mean, he laid out, made a play, and it was good coverage. It was just a good ball.
Nice defense by Jakai Mack. Better play, and now you run the rock. It's still nothing there. As Valor Christian really struggled to run in the first half. Averaged only 2.3 yards a carry. Ran for only 37 yards.
Yeah, and it doesn't help when you get down, 27-0. All of a sudden, they got to start throwing the ball a little bit and took the run game out of it. So but they still got to establish some kind of running game.
Ball on the 44-yard line. Oak fakes the run. Wants to pass it on the read option. Oh, that would have been intercepted. Just getting his paw in there, really as a defender, was Cash Spence. And if Spence doesn't put his hand out there and knock that one away, that's going to be an interception for Lucas Conklin.
Yeah, Spence is the one that turned into defensive back right there. That thing's dialed up, going to be picked off, and he got a hand in there, deflected away. I think the DB was zeroed in. He thought he was going to catch the ball, and all of a sudden it wasn't there anymore.
Crowd starting to make a little bit of noise here at halftime Help Stadium, a stadium that only has one side of stands. The other side decided not to put it there because you didn't want the stands to block the view of the mountains.
There's a hold.
And that should be a flag, and it's going to be a flag.
Yeah. There was a hold, pass interference, holding. He got him, spun him around.
Yeah, Jakai Mack won't like that call, but it is the right call. It'll be a first down for Valor Christian.
And the thing is, he didn't have to do it. The ball was going to be high, and it was going to be uncatchable, so.
But sometimes you get beat, right, Coach?
Sometimes,
you
yeah.
get beat, you just panic.
Yeah. And we always told our kids, 15 beats 6. So if you're beat over the top, we've had kids, what do you mean 15 beats 6? 15-yard penalty beats 6 points.
Just you saying that alone, Coach, lets me know just how much learning we had to go as high schoolers, right?
Yeah.
First down and 10, ball inside the 30-yard line at the 29. Oak fakes the handoff, now gives it off to the edge and a whole lot of room. And now down to the 21-yard line. Knocked down is Elliott Smythe. I like this tight end, the way that Smythe is able to play today.
I like it.
A couple of catches.
Got a couple catches. He gets open. He runs good routes. And, he does a good job blocking.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got to see a lot of the run game because of the score and what they've had to do. But, he's made some plays. He's been their most dynamic player.
Good start for Valor Christian. Fourth play of the drive that started at their own 20. Hands off to Hanish, and Hanish has nowhere to go. And it's almost to the point where you don't want to give up on the run, but you almost call the play knowing you're not going to get a lot from the ground.
Right.
Hayden Vincent on the tackle. Gain of
3rd and 2. I think you're definitely 4-down territory right here, but.
For me, Coach, I will have absolutely no problem going to your Hulk formation.
Yeah.
Fake the handoff. How about a pass? And what a nice job defensively knocking that ball out the hands of Elliott Smythe. Great job defensively by Lucas Conklin, but we have another flag. And, Coach, flags have been an issue for both teams. 15 flags, or 15 penalties, rather, in the first half. 7 on Valor Christian, 8 on Mountain Vista, and that was going to go against the Golden Eagles. Might actually go against the Eagles.
Against Valor. Valor ran their Hulk package in there. They were going to go for it on 4th and 2 with the Hulk package. But this is going to take them out of that right now. Now you're going to have to go back to your base personnel. But Coach McGatlin already made up his mind. If they didn't get it, they were going for it on 4th down, and he was going to, like what you said a minute ago, go to your Hulk package and pick up the first down.
Mountain Vista accepted the penalty. It would be a loss of 5.
Which
sets
is
up 3rd down and 7.
Good decision. Call? Yeah, good decision because he saw him run the Hulk unit in. He knew what was coming.
3 receivers to the right of Oak. He looks to the right. Fires deep on the wheel route, and it's incomplete.
That looked awkward.
Oh, man, and falling down is Cash Spence, and he grabs his back. And Spence, we'll see if he'll go to the sideline or if he'll go to the huddle.
Doing the double coverage right there.
By the way, defending for Mountain Vista was Mack.
Surprise there on when you know you were in 4-down territory that they would take the shot right there as opposed to trying to at least get themselves into a manageable 4th down situation.
Keep an eye on the slot guy, number 0. Like the way that he's able to go catch the ball. And there's going to be a lot of pressure. And there goes Mountain Vista with the sack. Down goes Dawson Oak and a turnover on downs.
Well, penalties were the drive killer that time for Valor. Valor's moving the ball, had a 4th and 1 situation, and gets a penalty, and next thing you know, turn it over and put the dynamic offense back on. We'll see right now what kind of adjustments Coach McGatlin made at halftime defensively. It looks like right now we're going to get a kind of a 4-2, maybe a man-free look.
By the way, on the sack, how about this? You have the head coach for University of Kentucky in the house, and Mark Stoops. His son, Will Stoops, with the sack.
There you go. Wonder what he thinks about this Majeski kid.
He's thinking, how many scholarships do I have, right?
Yeah.
Maybe counting up some NIL dollars. Low snap, Majeski.
Crossing route.
Man, he's so comfortable in the pocket.
He is. And getting great protection. You know what, I think Coach McGatlin, somebody's going to have to dial up some kind of pressures or blitzes or whatever. You can't let him be that comfortable just sitting in there. What did we say? He was 15 for 16, now 16 for 17. I mean, he might be a high school kid that's going to throw for 400 or 500 yards in this game.
Jabri Jennings with the catch, rather. He gets to the 37-yard line, a pickup of 6. Pistol set. Has the ball off.
Run,
Here comes Blaze.
good kick out.
With the moves, and he has moves for days, and he has green grass all around. 25, inside run. 10, 5. You won't catch the young man. You can just watch him in the end zone. Touchdown, Mountain Vista.
Got a holding call back here.
Oh, my, that's going to come back. Oh, man, what a run by Mr. Blaze.
Great effort. This kid, I love this kid, man. This kid has got some shake and bake to him. I mean, he's in, out, move, strong, break a tackle, get in the end zone. He's got a little swag. Everybody asks, like, what is swag? Swag stands for something we athletes got.
Either you have it or you don't, right?
Yeah. And if you don't, fake it.
Well, the penalty will wipe away a 63-yard run.
Well, maybe Valor found a way to stop him.
No, you got to make sure they throw the flags, right?
Mm-hmm. Again, what were the keys we just talked about again? No explosive plays, explosive play. Tackle well so they don't have explosive plays. Missed tackles right there to allow I mean, you know, Valor's got to hammer home those keys that their coach said that were important for us to win the game, because right now they're not doing it.
And, Coach, they only have 3 down linemen. They have a spread formation. Majeski.
I mean, they're not getting any pass rush. Uh-oh.
Oh, man, that was intercepted, but it ends up in a completion and a positive yardage. And, Coach, I saw exactly what you were seeing. I thought that was going to be a pick 6.
Well, he just broke a little late. 27.
Ball's completed to Sean Conway. And for Conway, that's a gain of 18 and a first down for Mountain Vista. But, Coach, you were right on the money. I mean, it was, as a defensive coordinator, it's everything you want. You put your guys in the right position, and sometimes just not able to make the play.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great break on the ball. Ball just got there before he could make it.
Now it was Cash Spence who was there. Now a handoff to Jack Blaze, and Blaze, oh my goodness. It seems like every time he gets the football, he's picking up at least 5 yards or 10 yards or 63 yards. I mean, this guy is just amazing.
And what's crazy when you look at him right there, he's got a big old knee brace on his right leg. You know, he's still got that kind of explosiveness and power and shiftiness and ability to cut with a big knee brace.
Caught a little bit of wiggle right there, right?
Yeah.
4th play of the drive for Mountain Vista that started at their own 31-yard line after turning over Valor Christian on downs in their first drive of the second half. Mountain Vista up by 20, looking to go up by more. Majeski taking his time. Looks like Valor Christian will have some pressure. RPO, quick throw to the outside. Easy completion to Sean Conway.
Yep, just a little RPO. Just fake the run, pull up, little 6-yard out route. Again, great play on first down. They put yourself in second and 2 or 3.
I'm really at a loss of what Valor Christian can do. I mean, every time Mountain Vista has had the ball, they have scored. I mean, it's just they haven't. It's not much resistance I'm seeing right now.
No, they're just doing whatever they want at will right now. And you could tell that they're trying to change. They went with a 3-man rush, 8 guys in protection. I mean, they're trying some different things defensively, and right now nothing works.
Mountain Vista, as they don't like what they see on the field, will call a timeout. And for Austin Majeski and the Golden Eagles, they'll burn their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. And with that, we will step aside. 8:24 to go. Mountain Vista up by 20. 41-21, Mountain Vista on top of Valor Christian, Justin Adams, and the coach, the head coach, I should say, former head coach of Dakota Ridge, Coach Ron Wanalevich. And all right, you, as a defensive-minded coach that you are, offensive-minded too, but let's go with defensive-minded. What can you do? What can you do to stop Mountain Vista?
You got to find some way to get some pressure. I think they're kind of sitting back. I don't know if you blitz, maybe you go all Vance Joseph, and he's redefined kind of the Bronco defense because the amount of pressure and blitzes he puts. You got to do something to get Majeski uncomfortable in the pocket. Like right here, they got 3 down linemen again.
5th play of the drive, Majeski.
Now here they brought 2.
Brought 2. Has a little pressure, steps up, moves around the pocket. He can run at the 35. To the 20, will step out of bounds at the 16.
Made a business decision.
Sometimes business is good, Coach. A pickup of 18 and a first down for the Golden Eagles. First down for Mountain Vista. Actually at the 17, so it'll be a gain of 17, rather. Clock continues to roll.
Well, there they brought a couple guys under pressure and then gave up a big scramble. So again, I don't know what you got to do. Here's pressure off the edge. Got a kick out block.
That's a short tackle.
Yeah, great tackle.
Cass Spence and even Jack Blaze had to go in, give a little of a pad touch to Cass Spence on that tackle. Short gain of 3. How many times have we been able to say short gain in this game?
Yeah.
When Mountain Vista's had the ball?
Not many. Their short gains are 40 yards in this game. Here we go. We got a little trips action.
Second
Looks like we're playing a little 2-man free.
You see some of the DBs already going back, rolling to the right. And there's nobody home, and throwing it across his body. Are you kidding me? It looked like Majeski ran out of room, and he found his man in the end zone, Ja'Kai Mack, for 6.
Man, he is just unbelievable. If he doesn't have 4 or 5, ineligible man downfield.
Oh, wow, wipe that one off the board.
Doesn't take away from the play. If he didn't have 4 or 5 Division I coaches that just send this game to them. Just send this highlight film to them. And if they don't want to recruit you, then they probably should get fired.
I mean.
Yeah, there's a guy right there. 77's downfield, standing at the 10-yard line.
By the way, 77 gives a nice chance to be able to shout him out. That's Jack Heath, 6'6", 310-pound senior. He has started every game of his career ever since he's been a freshman. He's committed to Navy.
So not only is he a great football player, he's smart.
Yeah.
And when you're 6'6", 300 pounds, and you're downfield illegally, you can't hide. They're gonna find you.
Well, you have Jack Blaze, who is 5'7", and then you have your guard, who is 6'6".
Yeah.
No wonder they run off the right side all the time.
Yeah.
Wipe that touchdown off the board. Second down at 27 from the 34.
They bring a blitz and pressure off the edge. Here he comes.
The blitz.
Skip underneath him.
Majeski with the throw underneath. Caught at the 30. Extended his way to the 25.
One of the things that Coach Belichick always talked about is when you get blitz, throw into the blitz. And that's what he did. He had pressure coming off his right side, so he threw into where the vacated area was for, a good gain on second down to get it to 3rd and 18.
Yeah, gain of 9. We always had a rule at Colorado. If they blitz, we score.
Yeah.
And so we didn't do a lot of scoring my last year in 2006. We were 2-10 that year, by the way. Majeski over the middle. He found his man at the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. Ja'Kai Mack with a nice fingertip catch. That's a gain of 23 First down, goal to goal for the Golden Eagles.
You can see what they have, like, coming into the game. Mack had 14 catches for 236 yards. Jennings had 12. Blaze had 12. Conway had 16. You don't have that kid in high school where you can just put a lockdown kid against Mountain Vista, because they got 4 kids that are dynamic playmakers that any one of those guys can get the ball. Maybe Blaze had a thing with Mack right there, said, hey, don't score because I want to run the ball in for a touchdown. I'll buy you lunch tomorrow or something.
How about this stat, Coach? 7 players coming into this game have had 6 receptions or more for Mountain Vista. First down, goal to go. Blaze, right up the gut, into the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Eagles. We call that easy money right there, Coach. 47-21's our score.
You know, and again, obviously, I think Coach McGatlin and Valor defensively is just, they're at a loss. I mean, you know, I'd sit up here if I was a coach going, I don't know. I mean, I've been in some of those games where you look at your coach and go, I don't know. We're trying, and it ain't working.
On for the point after attempt for Mountain Vista. Hunter Dale had one blocked earlier today. That one right through the uprights. 48-21's our score. Halfway home in quarter number 3, Mountain Vista, 16 minutes away from their first win ever over Valor Christian. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News Colorado, and we'll keep things right here. It also gives us a chance to be able to let you know, Coach, that today's game is brought to you by Colorado's Best Roofing. Colorado's Best Roofing has been serving Coloradans for over 10 years. Call today for a free inspection. I know we had a couple of hailstorms in the summer, Coach. Your roof doing well, by the way?
Mine's good. We had ours replaced a couple years ago.
Okay.
Paid extra for the hail-proof shingles.
So wait, there's hail-proof shingles?
That's what they say.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they actually will stand up if you get some leaks in the house.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny the way that storm came through. It's like all the people on my side of the street all got hail damage, and all the people on the other side of the street didn't have any hail damage. It's like the storm came right over the top of our side of the street.
Well, you're talking about a storm. How about Mountain Vista? They have scored every time they had the ball. 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. They lead 48-21. Valor Christian, last time out, had the ball deep in Mountain Vista territory, but then you have some penalties and a sack and a turnover on downs, and now they're staring down a 27-point hole. They were able to come back last year from being down 28 points by Fairview. This just feels just a little bit different.
Well, and part of what happened last year was they got some stops on defense and stopped Fairview to keep getting the ball back. They haven't been able to get any stops here tonight to get the ball back and keep the score close. Every time they score, they give up a score. When they don't score, they give up a score.
Here comes Dawson Oak looking for a man to throw it to it. Oh, man, he's going to be bear hugged to the ground.
Look
right
like
to the outstretched arms of Fabian Abagulum. First time today we're able to talk about him.
Almost looked like there was a little miscommunication. You see the 2 wideouts kind of, you won't see it here, but looks like almost the 2 wideouts ran into each other over here and got hung up, and that's why he had to hold on to the ball and created a sack.
Coach, that's a loss of 5 yards. Oak, he'll throw it this time, has a man, and it's caught. Beautiful catch. You need more catches just like that if you're Valor Christian.
Yeah, that ball was up in the air a long time. The DB, instead of making a play on the ball, went for the receiver, but
and that is Ben Herbeck on the catch. A catch
great
of
job.
18 yards.
High point the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you let that ball drop, it's going to get knocked out. So always catch the ball at the highest point, and he went out and did that. It was a great catch. Might see Valor might need to get into a little bit more of a 2-minute hurry-up mode here. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and you're down 27.
Clock continuing to move. Spence in motion to throw over the middle. First catch of the day for Noah Pacheco.
You're gonna have to come
Pacheco
out of the game.
loses his helmet. The chrome helmet comes off, and when you lose your helmet, you got to come out. For Pacheco, that's a gain of, we'll call it 4.
I think he wanted a penalty on the play. He kind of got smacked a little bit.
taking a look right now at Dawson Oak. And Oak, his first year in this brand new system under offensive coordinator Bob Stitt. He's done pretty well so far in his new system, still learning. Coach McGatlin says, hey, he's looking at film all the time, growing more as the game goes on. And you can see it right now as he gives the ball up to his other tight end, Elliott Smythe, who picks up 10 yards for the first down.
I think he really missed being out of coaching when he left University of Montana as a head coach. He was an offensive coordinator at Texas State University for a year, was let go in that position and was out of football for a couple years. So I think he's got the juices flowing. I think he's excited. You know, he's a great addition for Valor.
Well, let me ask that same question of you, Coach. You been coaching for a long time, as that's over the head of Cass Spence. But you've been out of coaching for a year now, and you've been retired. You've been coaching at Dakota Ridge for how long?
I was at Dakota Ridge, 28 years total, 23 as the head coach.
So have you been missing the game a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
I miss it. To come back?
I miss it all the time. I mean, I retired from teaching, too. I haven't really missed that part too much. But the camaraderie with coaches, the team, the game planning, the strategy, you know, I miss that all the time. And, you know, I'd have to talk with, you know, my wife, the general manager, if something came open, what her thoughts on it. But, you know, if it was the right situation, I probably would take a look and try and consider it, but we'll see.
Spence takes this one into Mountain Vista territory as he picks up 8 yards for a gain of 8. Taken down.
Yeah, I coached for 40 years total, so like this was the first summer where I didn't have weightlifting, speed camp, team camp, 7-on-7 stuff, and to be honest with you, it was a little weird.
Did you kind of look around and say, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be coaching right now?
I wake up, you know, every day and think there's something I should be doing, and I don't have anything to go do.
Bryce Bailey on the stop, sets up 3rd down and 2 with 3:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. So you say your wife's the general manager?
Oh, she's, yeah.
Okay, all right. How many years married, by the way?
34.
There you go.
34.
Come on.
Yeah, takes a special lady to be a coach's wife, for sure.
Amen on that, and it takes a special player to bring down Dawson Oak, and that's what happened off the edge. A sack for Mountain Vista, their 3rd of the 3rd quarter. On the sack, Carter Daniels. And we have a man down on the field, holding his wrist. And the sack, by the way, I say it was Daniels, that was Quillen Gullick with the sack. And haven't quite got the number of the player who is injured.
See, it looks like
we can't see it. But you know what, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. 3:33 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And we'll actually stay right here. It looks to be Fabian Abagulum.
looked like he was holding his wrist, but they're looking at his head and his eyes.
By the way, I love the communication. You know, wanted to take a break. And quickly, they were like, you can't do that. We can't take breaks here.
They're all scheduled.
Nothing wrong with that. All scheduled breaks. It's like when Mountain Vista has the ball. It's all scheduled to end in the end zone.
Yep.
See how it kind of works out that way? Yeah. But there's nothing better than Friday Night Lights, being able to watch both of these teams. And obviously there's plenty of time, and great to see Agbagulam walk off the field. But speaking of injuries, that was one of the things actually that Coach Garrett Looney talked about, was that a lot of these guys were injured last year. And just the importance of being able to get these guys back, you could tell they were juiced up and ready to go for this one.
Yeah, and Valor's missing some guys. Their center's out, tackle's out.
Reese Russell, he's injured. Hoping
Yeah.
to get him back. And Dawson Oak, he might have been after that hit. What a stop!
There's a
And
pass
that's going to be a
interference call.
flag, and not liking that call at all is Brooklyn Bailey and the sophomore. Oh my goodness, can't believe that call was made.
Oak got hit right as he threw the ball.
Well, let's take another look at this one. You be the judge at home.
I thought it was PI when the play happened. Looked like he was going right through the middle of him. Here's the replay right here. in the pocket, drive. He's holding him, if anything.
Yeah.
Might have been more holding than pass interference, but
Pass was intended for Ben Herbeck. 17 touchdown receptions for Herbeck last year. Came into this game only with 2. So he's still learning this system. Oak throws it up, tries to get Herbeck a chance, and this is going to be intercepted. Miscommunication, and you can't go to the penthouse too many times because you'll get bit. Interception by Mr. Bailey, Bryce Bailey with the pick, and Mountain Vista has the rock with 3:16 remaining in the third.
no, it was miscommunication. One guy went deep, the ball, he just kind of floated it up there. I'm not sure who he was really trying to throw it to. He didn't really get hit. Did that guy the turnover change? There's a good shot at what a great crowd we have here tonight. Homecoming. Always going to make the homecoming dance more fun for the kids on Saturday when you get a big win against a rival. Three-man rush.
Here comes Majeski. Has been spectacular today. Has only have one incompletion all day long. And that streak's going to continue as he finds his man streaking with nobody around him. Japri Jennings with the reception.
If Valor's going to go man, you can't let the guy release inside of you. I mean, that's just, that's just taking it.
Coach, another 17-yard gain. It just seems like every completion has double digits written all over it.
Has he thrown an incomplete?
Just one incomplete pass all game.
He hadn't thrown one this half.
Not this half.
He's got to be pushing the 400-yard mark too here, and we're still 2:47 to go in the third quarter.
When you look into this game, he's had touchdown passes of 11 yards, 87 yards, 32 yards, and 72 yards. Mountain Vista thought about running the ball. Nope, dumps it off to the flat. And falling to the turf is Elam Parisis, who scored the first touchdown from 11 yards out. So Parisis picks up 6. And as we approach 2 minutes to go in quarter number 3, sets up second down and 5. Gain of 5 they have on the scoreboard, so we'll go with that one. And you see Mountain Vista taking their sweet old time, had a fairly frantic pace early on in this one in their no-huddle offense.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any hurry, any rush right now. They know they can pretty much do about whatever they want to do, and free blitzer off the edge.
Oh, and good job on the blitz, able to knock down Majeski. Be the second incomplete pass of the day, and maybe Valor Christian has found something in blitzes like that. Obviously, you can't come off the edge all the time, but talking with Coach Garrett Looney, as you can see on the screen, and Coach Looney talked to Coach Brett McGatlin before the game, and as those two guys were talking, he says, look, we know we're going to meet up later on this year, so even though Mountain Vista seems to have this one in hand with 1:40 to go in the third quarter, this is just a precursor of what we could see later on this season.
Yeah, I don't think you're in any doubt that these two teams are probably going to be, Final Four type teams.
Oh, man, once again, what a pass. As that one finds the hands of Japri Jennings for the first down. Gain of 15 yards and a first down as he take it down to the 39.
Good route there, just a little stutter and go. He sat down, stuttered, got the linebacker to sit, and then ran away from him.
.115 and counting. Just Majeski just taking his time. An explosive offense that averages 54 points a game. And now they want to run and give it to Jack Blaze. And Blaze breaks the tackle, and he's off to the races yet again. This time down at the 21. Can you tackle this young man? Just slippery.
Yeah, he just popped right out. It looked like they had a good stop, and he just kind of slipped right through. See it right here. Looks like they got him wrapped up. Didn't tackle well.
What is it about his running style that makes him so tough to take down?
He reminds me kind of like Darren Sproles. I mean, if people know who that is, but it's he's kind of smaller. shorter, and more compact to the ground, and he's got great vision.
Could be the final play of the third quarter. Majeski thought about handing it off. Play action. Throws this one off his back foot. And that will go out of play. Nice pressure this time by the Eagles.
They were going to go for their 50-point mark right there. Good pressure by Valor up the middle. He had to get rid of that a little bit quicker, I think, than he wanted to.
If you're Mountain Vista and you score here, do you go and take out Majeski? Would you consider doing that?
I think, I would see probably what happens when Valor gets the ball. I mean, if Valor scores, I think you stick with your guys. If not, we're getting to the point pretty quick where, hey, let's not run any risk of something bad happening to him.
Marquise Reese is the backup quarterback. Last week he threw two touchdown passes himself. Majeski throws it to the flat, complete.
Cut.
Oh, what a move by Mack.
Cut.
Gets to the inside, and he is gone. Touchdown, Mountain Vista.
Man, they just have playmakers all over the field. There's the average they've hit.
Ja'Kai Mack with the touchdown, and you just said it there, Coach. Mountain Vista came into this game averaging 54 points. They have 54 in the third.
And I'll be honest, before the game, you'd have told me they were going to score 54 tonight. I was thinking that average was probably going to get shot. But they just have dynamic playmakers. I mean, it's just make a move here, make a move there. They're skilled position kids.
Sending a message to the private school just 2 miles away. Mountain Vista leading 55-21 over Valor Christian with 15.6 seconds remaining. And we still have another quarter left, Coach.
Yeah, we're not even through the third. And keep in mind, these guys played their first game of the year in Hawaii and scored 89 points. Out in Hawaii. I mean, they won 89-3, or 86-3. So from day one, and that was a 0 week, so they didn't even have a scrimmage or anything. That was their first game right out of the chute. But if I'm Valor, I don't know. Who do you cover? You cover 1, you cover 5, you cover 11, you cover 6. I just don't have enough guys to cover them all.
And you think about this going forward, and obviously when you look at CHSAA, they came out with their rankings for the top 10 teams, and they had Chatfield at number 1. Well, Chatfield lost yesterday. So when you look back at the rankings, I will find it hard to believe that there is any team as of October 4th that is better than the Golden Eagles of Mountain Vista.
Yeah, you'd be pressed. I mean, they're impressive in every facet. I mean, their special teams, other than the block, but they had long kickoff return. Defensively, coming into this game, they'd only given up 24 points. And then offensively, they're just dynamic. I mean, I don't see a weak link in that whole football team anywhere where there's like a chink in the armor.
It's the 5th touchdown pass, by the way, for Austin Majeski. And, Coach, we have to pick out our player of the game. We got a little bit of time left, but I have a feeling that a certain quarterback would be that guy.
Yeah, unless something happens. He's got 31 touchdown passes on the year so far, so his average was 5 a game coming in.
Johnson loses the ball. Strip sack, and it's picked up. And guess what? You get a scoop, you get a score. Mountain Vista scored in every way possible. Another touchdown. This time, Carter Daniels does the deed. And Mountain Vista has scored 61 points as we go to quarter number 3. Wow.
Running clock now. That's a 40 point, so it's going to be running clock no matter what happens at this point. How about that? You get a strip sack and you get to scoop and score. You get a reward yourself. For a kid who missed the game last year, coming off ACL, MCL surgery.
Wow. I don't think you could have put this together any other way.
No.
If you're Garrett Looney, Mountain Vista, and Ken Ortega has to be ecstatic right now. He's a defensive coordinator. I mean, shoot, Mountain Vista has scored so much, we don't even have their other touchdown on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
61-21's our score. Looking to make this 62.
I think at this point, both teams, take your starters out, get your JV guys in. Let's make sure we stay healthy, and we'll see you later on down the road. But
we'll see if that is what Mountain Vista and Valor Christian will do a 41-point spread. And we still have a quarter to go, folks. Surprising game here at Halftime Help Stadium. Are we taking a look at who will be the team holding up the state championship trophy in Fort Collins later on this season? We could be in for a very interesting playoff season. 62-21 is our score. You're watching Football Fridays on CBS News, Colorado. Nope, there's not an error on your screen. That is the score that we have at Halftime Help Stadium. And we're just now getting into the fourth quarter. Mountain Vista just blitzing Valor Christian 62-21. Justin Adams and former head coach of Dakota Ridge High School, Ron Wadalevich. And coach, it has been just a throttling by Mountain Vista from the get-go in this game. They started off hot, and they have continued on in this one. They were up 27-0 before Valor Christian was able to score on back-to-back possessions and made this game 27-14. But ever since then, it's been all Mountain Vista.
Yeah, they've dominated every facet of the game. I mean, to tell you how good they've been offensively, coming into the game, Valor Christian had given up 65 points in 5 games, and Mountain Vista scored 62 points in 3 quarters.
And by the way, this isn't the most that Mountain Vista has scored this season, Coach. You talked about this earlier as well. Mountain Vista earlier this year actually scored in the 80s. We'll give you that score in a bit right after this kickoff, and I can't even get to the 20-yard line. My goodness. In the first game of the year, Mountain Vista took on Pearl City. And if you're wondering where Pearl City is in Hawaii. That turned out to be a pretty good vacation for Mountain Vista. They won that game. Get this. 80, what do you say?
83-6.
83-6. Yeah. 83-6 was the final score in that game.
Well,
and by the way, when you look at the way that Mountain Vista was able to score that one, they didn't have that one posted. But Mikowski threw 5 touchdown passes in the first game of the year. Or he threw 6, rather. He has 5 today. As Dawson Oak is still in the game. And holy cow, he loses his helmet. It might be time to take out number 7 from this game. Second time today he lost his hat. And, Coach, you're down 41. I'm struggling to find a reason why you have your starting quarterback.
It might be time just to go to your Hulk package here. And, why run the risk of getting him hurt in a game that, it's going to go 40 points. Back to the Mountain Vista going to Hawaii. They went to Hawaii with a group called KSA, who sets up out-of-state travel for high school teams. We've gone 6 times to Florida. You know what? It's a great experience for the kids to go, the coaches to go, the parents and fans. It's a great experience.
Ball thrown over the middle and caught by Cash Spence. Nice throw by Noah Smith. And by the way, Noah Smythe, was the starting quarterback for Valor Christian last year. So he has some experience throwing the football, and I think Dawson Oak is going to come back into the game, and he is coming back in.
Smythe has been impressive. He's been a really bright spot for Valor tonight.
By the way, we have a running clock. You'll see it on the bottom of your screen, and Colorado high school rules, when you are down by 40 points, so there's a 40-point spread.
Uh-oh.
It almost intercepted. And having a beat on that ball was Lucas Conklin. It was incomplete. But when the score is a 40-point spread, you have a running clock, so unless Valor Christian can find himself a way to get within 40 points, this clock will run for the rest of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised to see if Mount Vista gets the ball back that, you put your JV kids in, you got to run your offense, but I wouldn't see him throwing the ball a whole lot.
Oak over the middle, incomplete. Ben Herbeck was in the area, the intended receiver, in coverage for Mountain Vista.
I think if you're
Scheich.
Valor, you take this back. I don't even know if I watch the film with my kids. I don't even know if I show it to them. I mean, what are you going to tell them?
But we used to have a rule playing at the University of Colorado where we say we just flush it.
Yeah.
We just flush the game away. Hey, guys, it's one game. We'll see these guys again, and we'll have a better game plan. was kind of the feeling that we had.
Yeah, we would, back in the DVD,
Oh,
DVD VHS days.
That's going to be a flag.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? This flag will be on Easton Scheich, and this is some of the things that, unfortunately, you will see is guys kind of teeing off on others just because you're not so worried about, the game being so close anymore, and it looks like this was contact to the head and neck area, and I don't know if there's a targeting rule, Coach.
There's targeting, but it's not like college where it's an ejection. Illegal helmet contact, so targeting. In college, they'd review it, and then they would determine if you're ejected or not ejected. High school, there's not. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that was well after the play, too.
Yeah, and he pretty much launched himself.
Well, 20 years ago, that's a good football play. Nowadays, it's taken out the game, and it is taking out a game for a reason.
Yeah. To
be able to protect the football players.
Yeah. I think the rule in college of it's an automatic ejection is a little rough unless it's blatant.
I agree.
But you know what? I mean, you got to call it.
Over the middle. Oh, that's a knock. Well, that's another big hit.
It is
an incomplete pass.
They're laying the wood. I mean, they're coming.
It's sending messages now, Coach, right?
Yeah.
As Quinlan Gulick is just teeing off.
Yeah, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to throw the ball. I mean, it's not like incomplete pass going to stop the clock. So.
And Mount Vista blitzing every time.
Good pickup by the running back.
That is almost intercepted. And Dawson Oak goes down to the turf, and it takes him a little bit for him to get up.
I am surprised that Dawson Oak is still in the game. Why do you run a risk right here? Like right there, he took a shot with 6 minutes to go in a 40-point game. But if Spence, the other guy, you don't want Spence getting hurt either. You don't have a JV kid that can come in and, I don't know.
Approaching halfway home. This will be the first time that Mountain Vista has been Valor Christian. They're doing so right now in dominating fashion, up 41 points. Oak changing the play. Still the starters out for Valor Christian. Oak throws over the middle, has his man, Cash Spence. That's a first down.
Mountain Vista did a good job of tackling. They've made some good tackles in the open field, and Valor wasn't able to do that. I'll be curious to see how long it is before high school goes to communication stuff in the helmet. Like I saw Oak come up and look at a wristband. How long before, the coordinator or the head coach is going to be able to talk to the quarterback in the helmet communication?
Could be right around the corner with 5:18 to go in the fourth quarter. Oak still in the game. The righty throws to his left. Deep ball and thrown out of bounds. Pass was intended for Cash Spence. Looking ahead for Mountain Vista and also for Valor Christian, where you go to their schedules next week. Mountain Vista will take on Thunder Ridge, and then their next game will be on the road against Fruita Monument. They'll play Rock Canyon before finishing the season against Council View. On the opposite side for Valor Christian, as you have Oak throw this one to the flat, and that one's just dropped. Yeah, it will be incomplete, and Chase Hanish has his head on his helmet. That sets up 3rd down and 10. By the way, we look at Valor Christian and their schedule. They'll play against Castle View next week at home. We'll be at Thunder Ridge. We'll be at home against Fruita Monument before finishing up the year on Halloween against Rock Canyon.
So 4 winnable games right there for Valor. Mountain Vista should win out, but I agree with what Coach Looney said earlier. I think you'll see these two teams probably match up again somewhere when playoff time rolls around.
Oak with 3:55 throws it to the flat. Gives it to Smythe, and the young man doesn't have much to go. We'll set up 4th down and 10. By the way, it's almost time for our player of the game. That's our Fortis player of the game, and Fortis seeks to be the market leader in roof performance. Fortis provides solutions that allow asset managers and portfolio owners to maintain complete confidence in not only their roof, but the people within it that protects it.
Well, I don't think there's much doubt on who our impact player of the game is, and that's Austin Majeski. I mean, he's had a career night.
Oak over the middle.
Nice.
Beautiful catch by Herbeck. Nice job by him to get that one over the head of Ja'Kai Mack. That'll be a first down as the Rock will go to the, say, 17-yard line. We'll call that the 18, a gain of 20. As you take a look at Austin Majeski, and Coach, what else you have to say about Majeski?
Yeah.
He came into this game as one of the top passers in the state. He was second in the state in passing yards behind a quarterback from Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, he's a complete player. I mean, he's got such great poise being a 4-year starter. He ran the ball when he had to run the ball. He keeps his eyes down the field when he's scrambling, and had a long pass that was ultimately called back because of a penalty. But his poise, and even right there on the sideline, if you look at him on the sideline, he just very even demeanor, not overly cocky or excited. He's a complete player. Like I said, I'd be shocked after tonight just watching him that some Division One programs don't jump all over that.
There should be somebody.
Yeah,
who
at
would
least
take a
in the
look at
state
it.
here. I mean,
Yeah.
whether you're CU, CSU, Wyoming,
Well, it's interesting.
he's not an Air Force kind of kid.
So Matt McChesney, who's a former teammate of mine at Colorado, and he's now owning his own gym. He works with a lot of high school athletes and also professional athletes. Said he was actually on a call with Mark Stoops in a meeting today, the head coach of Kentucky. And one of the things that a lot of guys are seeing is, unless they have a quarterback who is ready to go right now to play at the Division I level, they have a lot of quarterbacks go down to lower levels, prove themselves, and then through the transfer portal move up. As Dawson Oak,
which
hold
is,
on to that one.
and I get, you got scholarships. I mean, I know colleges do that with kickers. We don't want to scholarship a kicker because if we miss on a kicker, then we got to eat the scholarship. So you know what? How about you walk on, and if you show us you can play, or you go to a JUCO and show us you can play, then we'll scholarship you. But if you recruit 4 running backs and you miss on one, you still got 3 running backs. If you recruit a kicker and you miss on it, you can't afford to take 2 scholarships to scholarship kickers. Oh, he had him open.
Oak goes outside and throws that away.
Is that 4th down?
And that was on 4th down, and we have a flag.
It should be the last play of the
We have a
game.
legal player downfield. That flag will be declined. Mountain Vista won't have to run another play. And with 30 seconds to go, let the celebration begin. Mountain Vista came into this game with one mission: to put their mark into high school football in Highlands Ranch, where they did just that, winning this one by 41 points over Valor Christian for the first time in the history of Mountain Vista High School. They're able to take down the Valor Christian Eagles by a final score of 62-21 and a wire-to-wire victory. Your final score: Mountain Vista 62, Valor Christian 21. Coach, this was a no-doubter from the get-go.
Yep, it was. You had one team that was just on a mission, wanted to prove something, and I think they made a statement game tonight that they are the team to beat in 5A football in Colorado. If you want to win the state championship this year in 5A in Colorado, you're going to have to go through Mountain Vista, and I think that even includes Cherry Creek. That these guys are the most complete team I've seen play all year in every facet, and to me, I've watched a lot of high school football games. They got the best player in the state right now in Majeski. He's an unbelievable kid.
Austin Majeski, the reigning Gatorade Player of the Year, will definitely be near that mark yet again. Had 5 touchdown passes, also had a touchdown run. Every time that Mountain Vista had the ball in this game, they were able to score, and even the defense chipped in with the score just to make this one 62-21, the advantage that we see, or the final score that we see right here.
Yeah, I've only seen that one at a time. That was us in 2020. We played Montrose the first round of the playoffs, and we had 12 possessions in the game, and we scored on all 12. Not necessarily touchdowns, but we beat them 76-35, and as weird as that sounds, never felt comfortable during the whole game.
Wanted to say this before we do go in this broadcast. Obviously, this is a blowout victory for Mountain Vista, but I'm looking right now at the Golden Eagles, and they're celebrating like they've won the state championship. Obviously, it's a big game. It's your neighborhood rival. You wanted to go and beat this team. You finally were able to get this done. But is this something that you got to say, hey, guys, be careful, because we have to see this team again. And we know how Colorado could be once you get to November and December. You don't have the sunshine like this. It could be where you're playing in the snow. You could play in the rain. It could be a different deal. Is this something that you'll have to go and say,
Yeah,
hey, guys,
that
be
both
careful?
sides. If I'm Coach Looney, I just got together and said, hey, enjoy your homecoming dance tomorrow night. Enjoy, treat your girlfriends right. Have fun. Don't do anything stupid. Don't sacrifice what you want most for what you want now. Don't go to parties. Avoid all that stuff. But this wasn't our ultimate goal this year. Our goal this year wasn't to beat Valor. And so, yeah, that was, maybe that was something that was important to us. But it was one of those things where this isn't, this is nice, but this isn't what we want.
4 more games to go for both teams on the schedule. In the win, Mountain Vista will improve to 6-0, and Valor Christian will fall to 5-1. So, for myself, Justin Adams, actually for my partner, I should say, Coach Juan Wadalevich, I'm Justin Adams saying so long from Halftime Help Stadium, where the final score, 62-21, Mountain Vista all over the Valor Christian Eagles. All games are available to watch on demand on Android and fanview.com.tv. Download the app today for easy access. This has been a presentation of FanView and a proud production by Steve Wheat Media. Have a great night, everyone, and we will see you next week.